So hi, today we shall see the Git workflow. So what we have done is we have created a folder called Git demo, and we have initiated it as Git repository by giving the command Git in it. So that becomes our working directory. Till now we have not created, we have created files and we have made some modifications, but we have not added those modifications to Git. We have not told Git that these modifications you need to track. So Git follows this workflow to keep track of the modifications what we make to the file. Say Git demo is my working directory. In this working directory, I'll have multiple files, a text file, an HTML, CSS, whatever file. So to these files, I make some modifications. Now, to keep track of all these modifications inside these files, Git follows 3 stages. That is a staging area, next one is a local repository, and then a remote repository. The staging area is one where with git add command, we will use this command called git add, and we select those files which we have modified and we want Git to track those files. So we have selected, it is still under staging area, it is not committed yet. To commit the changes, that means for the Git to say take a snapshot and save these modifications permanently, we will be using a command called git commit followed by a message. Usually this is the formal way of giving commit, with a message usually should indicate what modifications we have made to the file, or it depends on the project which you are working on. Maybe to you may be addressing the token, then you would give token number in the messages, and then whatever changes we have committed, they are there on the local repository. You can see here it is local repository, that means on the system where you are working, it is on that system only. So what happens when you collaborate remotely with many people to work on a common project, you need to add these changes to a common repository or a cloud repository or a remote repository. This remote repository could be some examples are mentioned here. It could be GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket. So for our ease and free and open source, in this reasons we'll be selecting GitHub as our remote repository here. So we need to push our changes, whatever we have made to local repository, we need to push those changes to the main repository or the remote repository. That we shall do with git push command. So this is the workflow. Select the files where you have made modifications, put them onto staging area with the git add, then git commit, so that permanently the Git tracks, a snapshot is taken and Git tracks the changes. Those changes which are there on your local repository, use git push to push them onto your remote repository, so that the work gets collaborated with the remote collaborators. So now let's start working on our Git demo, our local repository. Let's create some files and let's do some modifications onto those files, and let's see how to commit those changes and how to push those changes to the remote repository on GitHub. Okay, so this is my folder which I have opened on VS Code, this Git demo. Here I'll create some files for our example. So let me create a file, hello.txt. I've created one file, text file. I'll add one more file. I'll add a file called say password.txt just for the example, and I'll add one more file. We usually add these files, these markdown files, to our project just to make the project understandable by any user. These readme files contain the rules or the procedure to be followed or steps to be followed, etc. about our project. Basically, any person who sees our Git repository, who has an access, shall go through readme and understand what is this project about, how to use this project for his application, some instructions about the project. Now we shall do some modifications onto these files. Now let me do some modifications. You can observe here, that means the files are not tracked, they are untracked files. So let me go to hello text and do some modifications. I'll add some text there. So I'll add some text to this file, hello. I'll add some text, hello Git, and I'll also add some more things. This is my first Git project, some text. Okay, this is my first Git project. So I have made some modifications onto hello.txt, this hello.txt file. I'll also make some modifications onto password. Just for the namesake, I have called it as a password. It's a text file. Let me save a kind of a password there. So I'll add a username here to this username. So I'll add username demo, and I'll add one more line, say password. I'll add some password, kind of a thing. So I have made some modifications onto password file also. Let me make some modifications to readme file. So come to readme file. I'll give some instructions here. I'll give some instructions. So I'll add these lines to the readme file, git commands demo. So under git command, this repository is used to learn Git. Just to make things simple and look nice, I'm just modifying the files here. Okay, so we are done. Now our terminal is also here. Our terminal is here. Let's check git status now. So we have 3 files on git demo on our git repository. Let's check git status. So git status, it simply states that, okay, let me try to maximize the screen. Okay, it says that all these 3 files are untracked. So they are not tracked because we have not added them, we have not committed the changes. We have made modifications to these files, but we have not committed these modifications yet. So let's add now. Let's add git files. To add git files, to track these changes, there are 2 commands. One is git add, the other one is git commit. So let's do that. Git add. Now I have to give the file name. For now, let me add 2 files. hello.txt. I'll also add a readme file here. I'll add these 2 files. I'm not adding password file here. I'll just add these 2 files. Now let me check git status. So we are on branch main. The commits are made into these files, hello.txt and readme, these files, and this password, this is still untracked. So let me clear the screen. So we have added these 2 files, this one hello and password, to the staging area. So to allow Git to track, we need to commit these changes. So let's give the command to git commit, commit -m, and in the quotes. So this is the usual procedure. We'll add a message here. So message is additional project files. So now you can see that there are 2 files which are committed here, and you can observe a 7-digit code here. Git generates a checksum. See, if we ask Git to keep track of all the changes what we are making onto file, it doesn't by forgo any change. So it generates a checksum. This checksum is of 40 character. We can see all the 7 characters displayed over here. So there are 2 files which are changed and they are committed. Now we can check git status about the git history. So it says that we are still on a main branch. And this one file, it is not committed yet. Why? Because it is not staged. So to commit password, we need to add password to staging area. So it is not yet committed. See, there is one more common command in Git to see all the commits what we have made till now. That's called a git log. So git log gives the number of commits and all the commits what we have made till now. Of course, before to this also have made many commits over this over the same work folder. So it's showing all the git commits. So git log gives complete project history. Upon that, this head main, whatever you see here, this is the the last commit what we have made, which is about additional project files. This was the last commit. So anytime we want to see the complete project history or track record of Git, just we have to give git log. The git log gives the track of all the changes what we have made to the files inside our Git repository. But what change is exactly made? See, git status gives us which file is changed, but what change is made to see, to observe that there is one command in Git, that is git diff. So before we go to git diff, let's do some modifications onto one of the files. This is additional line. So I have made some modifications. Now we have to save this. Once we save, then it becomes there is a modification. It shows the indication here. There is a modification made onto hello.txt file. If we don't save, it remains the same. So these modifications are not visible here. Now we have made some modifications. Let us check what is git difference do. So before that, let me clear the screen. Let me check git status. So git status is the same. Their changes are not staged. this one on hello.txt we have made some changes, and this one is untracked yet. This is git status. So git status says which file is changed. Now what has changed? Let's work with the git diff command. Git diff. So git diff gives us what change we have made. See, we have made a change on hello.txt file. On hello.txt we have made a change, and that change is additional line. So there is a new line added to this file. So what changed? Through git diff. Which file has changed? Through git status. And how many commits have happened? Through git log. These are the 3 common commands we follow on Git. Now there is one more file we have not yet worked on, that is password.txt. This is yet untracked. Let's understand, this password is a file where, say, I am saving my passwords. Now I want those passwords to be on my system but not to be tracked by Git. Okay. When I push, it should not go to remote repository and it should not be accessible to other people. But I want all those passwords to be on my working directory. So in such a case, say we have some username password saved onto this password.txt. Now by mistake or accidentally, if I tend to commit password file, say for example, I'll add this password file. By mistake, there is a command in Git to add all files to the staging area at once, which is git add. This adds all the files to the staging area at once. We need not to give the file name. So for now I have added 2 files, hello.txt and readme. So let me add password file to the staging area, which is through git add password. I can use autocomplete. So password, add this. So we have added. We can check git status. So hello.txt, this is modified. Okay, our status, this is not yet committed. So let us commit that also. And before that, let's work on password file. Now let's commit password txt first. So git commit password file. So one file has changed, so the checksum is created. This password.txt is committed. So now my Git is tracking. Let's check Git log now. So on the top list, top one, so this is my identity. My author is Aariv Technologies, and the timestamp and the file changed is password file. The message which I had given for commit. Now let me clear the screen again. Let me clear. Now what happened here is we have a file called password, and we don't want this to be tracked by Git, or we don't want this to be pushed to the repository. That is the second stage, but we want this on the working directory. So there are 2 methods. One is to remove this file. You can go here and you can just delete this file. You can go and delete this file, but you will be deleting it from the working directory, but you can't stop Git from tracking. So there are 2 ways to delete a file. One is permanently delete from the working directory as well as the Git. The other thing here is I want this password to be on my working directory, but I want Git not to be tracked. So Git cached and give the file name password not complete. Yeah. So now Git stops tracking this file. You can check on the Git status. It will stop tracking this file now. There is a modification we have not committed it. Now we follow all those instructions. The instructions are common. Git add and give the file name. The changes what we have made is to hello text, so add it, and git commit. So git commit -m, and we have to give a message. So what we have done, we have modified hello.txt. We have modified with this message. We are committing, so we can check git log here. The recent one is on hello.txt file. So this is how we follow all the 3 stages. One is git add, git commit, and by mistakenly, if we have committed any file and we don't want Git to track, we use a command called git rm -- cached and that file name, or we want to remove, we will just use git rm that file name. So let's push these changes now. Now up till now, whatever commits, whatever changes we have made and whatever commits we have made, all the track history, this with git log, whatever we view, it is on my local repository. So how to push this to GitHub, that we shall see in the next video on GitHub.